Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Alicia and today I'm going to share with you my 33 to 34 week pregnancy update. The last couple weeks have been probably some of the worst as far as just things taking a turn and just the level of stress that I felt and how crappy I felt, but I'm feeling a little bit better and I don't want to scare anybody in these videos. Like, I'm not trying to make them like the worst possible symptoms, but I'm just trying to kind of paint a true picture to how it's been going for me. So while these symptoms and things are pretty serious, it's also like I am a really positive person and I really do believe that, you know, for whatever that's worth, placebo effect maybe, I just think that, you know, having the best attitude does help. And you know, I am in the home stretch and I can't believe I'm this far. It's amazing. And you know, I had someone ask me if I'm ready for the baby to be out, if I'm ready to have my body back. And the truth is, like, I'm actually really enjoying pregnancy as much as it's been pretty bad. And having some horrible days, I really do treasure these moments where, like, especially lately, like, baby's movements have been crazy. As far as baby, he is doing really well. He's in good position, and right now I believe he weighs more than the amniotic fluid in my inside, so he's just taking up more room, which is pretty cool. I've been really exhausted. Sleep has gotten so much harder. I think I said this in my last video too, I've been waking up every like hour and a half, and it's gotten to the point where I just don't look at the clock anymore. I wake up, I go to the bathroom, and I fall asleep pretty quickly, and I've been having these crazy dreams. So, you know, I know that my sleep isn't good because I wake up and I'm still really tired. I go to bed really early and I, you know, sleep until the last possible moment. And I know that, and then as soon as after breakfast, I feel tired again. So in the last couple of weeks, I've just noticed that I've had to kind of just chill out a little bit more and take it easy. Another symptom that I've felt is shortness of breath. Even just filming these videos has gotten a little bit harder. Walking around, doing daily chores, I just noticed that I'm out of breath a lot faster, which is just, it is what it is. I try to remind myself to take slow, deep breaths. That helps. So as far as weight gain too, I have kind of plateaued. I'm right around 168, which for me is, again, it's pretty high, but I haven't really moved. I've kind of balanced maybe like a pound or two in the last like month. And so next week I'll see in my visit if I have gained a little bit of weight. So something that happened last week is I went in for my midwife appointment and my blood pressure was pretty high. She was a little bit concerned, so she took it a couple times, and all the times that she took it, my blood pressure was just way higher than it has been. So she had me run some tests, some blood work and a urine sample, and the urine sample came back with a lot of proteins and my high creatine to protein ratio. So I have taken a 24-hour urine test, which I should find the results soon. And these are concerns for preeclampsia. And for those of you that are familiar with it, you know, I'm really sorry if you have gone through it or you're going through it, because it is kind of a scary, it's just scary. It's, you know, everything that you read out there just is not very positive. And so I've been really taking it easy, and really just kind of resting a lot as much as possible, and just doing whatever I can to lower my blood pressure. I've been put on a new diet by the midwives. It's called the Brewer diet, and I might do another video where I kind of go into that. It's basically high protein, lots of calories, and it's, you know, you'd think it'd be easy when you're pregnant, but it's actually really hard. I don't think I realized maybe how little I have been eating, so hopefully this helps. Also, I have started acupuncture. I've been going twice a week, and I've gone so far, so I think tomorrow will be my third time, and it's so relaxing. It's really, really nice, and I think it does help. We'll see. The thing that is a little bit stressful and I'm trying not to worry about is my birth plan. My birth plan is to have this baby in a birthing center here in the Springs, and if my blood pressure continues to rise, I will be moved into the high risk category and I will have to have my baby in a hospital, which is not something that I want. It's just my personal opinion, and I know that we all have our own ways of bringing babies into the world, and I'm a little bit hesitant to talk about this because I feel like people just jump at you with their opinions and whatever it is that they want to tell you. Like, things will be okay, everything, you know, like there's just so much I don't know, there's just so many things that people want to tell you, and the truth of it is, you know, you have your own way of wanting to bring this child into the world, and just like parenting, just like everything really, my dream would be to have this baby in a birthing center. So I'm trying to do everything that I can to help and lower my blood pressure and just get my nutrition kind of dialed in and see if that helps. Also, this last week, before I went in for my midwife appointment, I do have it's called an internal hordeolum, which is basically a fancy word for an eye pimple. And I have a gland in my eyelid, in the inside of my eyelid, that is inflamed, and it looks like a pimple basically in my eye. And at first it was causing a lot of pain. It was swollen. In the last video you could see it. The last video you could actually tell that I was a little puffy. My hands and my feet and my face have gotten a little bit more puffy, and that is one of, again, the symptoms of preeclampsia, and it's just something that I didn't really notice until I was looking back at my video. I was like, yeah, okay, I could see that. So that is something that has changed. And as far as, sorry, my battery just died. I think I was talking about my eye, and I went and saw the doctor. Basically, in short, I can try to dislodge this by heating up a little rice sack or bean sack that will kind of help keep it soft and mobile, and hopefully release some of the infection, the oil, whatever the buildup is that is going on in there. It has felt better in the last week, so I'm kind of just still applying a hot compress and hoping that that kind of helps to keep it soft. But eventually he said that it will probably harden, and I'm a little bit too far along in the pregnancy to take antibiotics, which is fine. And so I'm just kind of in this place where I'm kind of just, you know, after I give birth, I can have a little eye surgery to have it removed, where I think they just, you know, it's a 10-minute, they just drain it. But right now it does look like it's actually getting smaller. It's weird because for a while it was getting bigger, and at least it doesn't hurt right now. It's not really affecting my vision. So there's that. That is my quick 33 to 34 week pregnancy update. And I have, let's see, have I felt any other symptoms? As far as emotionally, I do feel a little bit like I'm getting a little bit more anxious about giving birth, just with the, you know, the twist last week as far as with the doctors and the possibility of having to go to the hospital to birth. Again, this is just my personal choice. I respect everybody's decision to give birth however they want to, and all birth is beautiful and it's amazing. My personal reasons for giving birth in a birth center, just real quick, are, you know, I have been in and out of a hospital since I was really little. Since I was 4 years old, I had a skin graft, a full body skin graft. I've broken multiple bones. I have had multiple knee surgeries. I have, you know, again, the cancer, going through that. There are lots of things that I have gone through that just my own personal preference is to have a birth in a place where I feel more calm and just kind of in an environment where I feel is best to bring baby into the world. And again, for everybody that's totally different. And I know people have had strong opinions. My family in particular has had kind of strong opinions about this. And, you know, I understand their concern, and I appreciate that they love me and that they are worried about me and whatnot. But the truth is, like, I do feel like I am making the best decision for myself and for the baby. And lots of factors that go into this. My insurance in particular is not one of the best, and so when I go into a hospital, I don't get treated very well, and that's just something that, like, I don't want to have any of that kind of negativity around while I'm giving birth, because I feel like I believe I've shared this before, but my own personal birth story is my mom had with me, she had a VBAC, so a vaginal birth after a cesarean. My brother was an emergency C-section, and then 5 years later she had me vaginally. And back then it was kind of new, but it was kind of not new, to place the baby post-birth right onto the mother's chest. You know, nowadays we think that is kind of common. But back then it wasn't common, it was still fairly new. And my mother, she's Japanese, and she just freaked out when they put me on her chest. And so personally, that's just my birth story, and I do believe that that kind of transpires into a lot of the reasons behind why I want to have a more natural birth. I'm not saying that, again, I don't know, there's just such a fine line with that, and I know that it's a little tricky. But for those of you that are planning birth center births, home births, you know, I understand that there's a lot of pressure from a lot of different people about how we give birth, which I just don't get it. I don't get why people just can't mind their own business, but everybody seems to have an opinion. You know, again, there's no just better way of doing it, and just be confident in that, no matter what you're choosing. If it's a hospital birth, if it's a home birth, if it's a birth center birth, you know, just know that your decision, it does matter and it does mean something. And you know, at the same time, there is part of it where you just have to kind of let go of expectation. So again, for example, I have come to terms and I've been okay with, you know, if things happen and I need to get transferred to the hospital from the birth center. I had kind of like accepted that. I had kind of, you know, just understood that like my care team knows best. So if something takes a turn, if something happens and I need to go to the hospital, I know that my care team, they're gonna do what's best for me and the baby. Something that I hadn't planned for was this preeclampsia, and if I need to have a planned cesarean before, just to get the baby out in case I start to decline and my health starts to decline. Preeclampsia is a really serious condition. The only way to, quote, cure it is by having baby. And so that puts mama at risk, that puts me at risk, and again, they're monitoring me, they know what's going on, and you know, I trust that. So, you know, I just hadn't planned for that. I hadn't planned for baby to come early and kind of with a, I'm gonna say forced cesarean, which it's not like they'd be forcing me into it, but they would be advising me that at this point, you know, for my sake, I could end up having seizures. There's a high risk of maternal fatality with preeclampsia if you just let things go for too long. So, you know, just wrapping my mind around that was, I felt very, how do you say, serendipitous and kind of divine, as far as trusting in the Lord and knowing that what's meant to be will be, and that I don't really have any control in this process. I do have my hopes for how I hope birth will go, but I also know and I understand that things will happen, and if it's out of my control, it's out of my control. Again, I do feel really confident and really happy with my birth team and the people that I have around me, as far as Christian is really supportive and my doula is really kind and supportive and informative. And so, and I know that my midwives are taking really good care of me. So I feel very just confident as far as, you know, I'm in good hands. That's what matters most. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Like this video if you stayed till the end. I will insert my belly clip and show you. It's definitely growing, and I have a midwife appointment coming up next week, and hopefully I'll know a little bit more as far as how I'm doing health-wise, and I will update you guys. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!